Hello, welcome. My name is Dr. Robin Kelly. I'm a family doctor who's concerned about the rollout, which is now current, of the fifth generation of non-ionising radiation and how it's being promoted and how it's being promoted in the media and by our academics. And I'm looking for answers why they seem to be at odds with the many independent scientists and physicians around the world who share my concern. One set of papers in particular is most important at the moment because it is being really ignored by what we used to call the mainstream media, which now seems to, certainly in New Zealand, have sold out to the technical companies. I'll quote from the US National Toxicology program in conjunction with the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, their big set of studies, the results of which were published last year. They really, and I'll quote from their web page and their press release. The NTP studies found that exposure to RFR, radio frequency radiation, 900 megahertz, used by cell phones, was associated with clear evidence of tumours in the hearts of male rats. The tumours were malignant schwannomas. There was some evidence of tumours in the brains of male rats. The tumours were malignant gliomas, and some evidence of tumours in the adrenal glands of male rats. The tumours were benign, malignant or complex combined pheochromocytoma. In our own medical journal, there was a lengthy review article on the current state of, I suppose, the science that lies behind either the concern or otherwise of 5G and an existing non-ionising radiation. And the two authors, Professor Elwood from New Zealand and Professor Wood from Australia, came to the conclusion that there have been no adverse health effects shown. And this particular, they link to this particular site, which I've just quoted from the National Toxicology Program, but their interpretation was this, and this is from their paper. Recently, the most extensive studies shown yet have shown some possible cancer increases in male rats with lifelong exposure. So, where the study states that there's clear evidence of tumours in the hearts of male rats, they have interpreted this as some possible cancer increases in male rats. So why is this important? Well, there are many independent commentators around the world, physicians and scientists and others, interested people, who suggest quite strongly that the current classification of non-ionising radiation from a 2B carcinogen will be elevated, if you like, to a type 1 carcinogen as a result of this, mainly this, but many other studies as well. The problem is that the governing bodies that are deciding this only meet occasionally, yearly, 6 monthly at the best, often 2 yearly. And it is very clear that this would be a major blow to the technical companies if it's elevated to such a level, not just for their rollout of 5G, but for what we've got already. Remember, 5G is not just those higher frequency millimeter waves, it's actually including the whole gamut of radio waves. So the race is on, and certainly in New Zealand, the main technical companies, Vodafone and Spark, are busy using the media and paying the media for their alternate story. And although these articles are appearing in the New Zealand Herald and News Hub, at the bottom of those articles they quote that they are being sponsored by the likes of Vodafone. If you click on them and in fact relay them to your social media site, it doesn't indicate that. So we've got a very serious issue now. We've got both the media and academia that seem to be playing the same game. And what is at stake is the illness of, as we know, animals, but also the potential illness for those who are most vulnerable in our society, particularly our children and future generations. And this whole journey that I've been on studying this 5G rollout has brought me many insights, and I think many insights to so many people about the state of journalism, both in this country and around the world, but also the state of academia, and both academia and journalism, in the main, seem to be dependent on money from the technical institutes. We have learned as doctors to be very suspicious of papers written by physicians who have close connections with pharmaceutical companies. But this is even worse because a drug you can either take or leave. Whereas this, we're talking about a poison, a potential, well, we know it's a poison, we just don't know how poison it is at the moment, that is going to surround every living thing in the world. This is how important it is. And for a media to be willfully blind to the possible disastrous effects of non-ionizing radiation, and we're not talking about the thermal effects but the non-thermal effects, is appalling and really sobering for most of us. And for many people it's too big a step. It's been too big a step to realise that there's not only conflict of interest but corruption that's occurred in our media. And I'd have to say that in academia now, what happens is that many departments are dependent upon funding from the technical corporations. And not only that, most of the academics have retreated into their own specialty. This is what reductionism does. It's important to have reductionism, but what happens is that those who are stuck in the dots of reductionism can't see the other dots, they can't join the other dots. In fact, they're not paid to do that, they're paid to promote their dot. And what I'm trying to do, and what I try to do as a medical doctor and a GP, is to join the dots, to look at the much bigger picture. Unfortunately, if you're in the middle of a black dot, it's a bit like being a termite in a tree. You just see the tree and you don't see the forest. So that's the latest. It's been a bit of time since I did a video. I hope you find this interesting. All the best. See you later. Bye.